Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie and today I'm so excited because I'm doing something a lot different for my May TBR video, but basically I kind of wanted to combine different trends that are going around. I've seen a lot of people do emojis choose my TBRs, which I love. I think those are so much fun and I love watching them, but I wanted to combine something with it. So what I did was I asked 8 different book creators, either like booktubers or some of them aren't fully booktubers, but they do some book content, but I love all of these creators and I'm friends with some of them. So I ended up sending them 2 different photos. Obviously the books are covered in them and I just sent the emojis on top. So they had to decide between the 2 emojis of what book they wanted me to read for May. So that's what we're doing today. I'm so excited. These are all the books that are contenders. I haven't opened their messages yet. I'm excited to open each individual girl's message and see which book they chose because I do not know yet. I put all of their names in this little jar instead today. They're obviously all gonna get picked because there's 8 names in here and I messaged 8 girls, but I wanted to just kind of make it a little bit more fun. So we're going to pull their names from this jar one by one, and then I'm gonna go into my messages and see which book they chose based on the emojis. So I hope that all made sense. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm so excited to see what everyone chose based on the emojis I sent them. These are all the book options. I will let you know going into each girl which books I sent them, and then we'll see which one they chose. So I hope you guys enjoy this and let's just get into the video. So I printed out each girl's name that I sent and we are going to pick our first book creator, see what they chose. First girl is Shaunessy. If you guys don't know Shaunessy, she is a booktuber, bookstagrammer, book TikTok creator. She's absolutely incredible. I don't know how long ago we met, but I'm obsessed with her content. Obviously, all these girls will be linked down below so you guys can check them all out, but I love her recommendations. She gives great recommendations. She also recommends a lot of Black authors and a lot of authors that I don't know about, so I really appreciate those because she just opens me up to a whole new world and I love that about her. She's so positive, so open-minded, and her content truly just brings me so much joy every time she posts, and I tell her that all the time, but I just love her. I genuinely love everything she posts. So if you guys don't know Shaunessy, I will link her down below so you guys can go check her out because she's amazing. Let's see, I gotta remember what I sent her. The 2 books I ended up sending Shaunessy were The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I have still not read to this day. I know this is like one of the most popular books to like ever pop off on Book Talk, and just it blew up very fast, and I still haven't read it, but like everyone in my life has read it. My girlfriend's even read it and she's not a huge reader, but everyone tells me to read it. So I wanted to throw this one in there if she chose it. The other one I sent her was After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one is basically about 2 people that are married. They decide that their marriage is reaching a breaking point, so they decide to not have contact for an entire year to kind of find themselves and see if they come back together. The After I Do one I sent with a ring emoji, a broken heart emoji, and a broken house emoji because they have like a broken marriage right now. They're kind of rediscovering themselves. For The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I sent a movie star. It's supposed to be like a playwright, but obviously there's not that many emojis associated to that, but she's like a Hollywood star, so that's why I sent that. And then the dress, because again, she's a Hollywood star. And Shaunessy ended up picking the pink one, which was After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm very excited because I haven't read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book in such a long time. I think the last book I read by her was Daisy Jones and the Six, which was over an entire year ago. I remember I read it last March, I'm pretty sure, or maybe last May, but it was almost like an entire year ago. I'm excited that she chose this one. Both of these are obviously Taylor Jenkins Reid books, but I'm excited she chose this one because I have had it on my shelf for quite a while and I just really never thought to pull it. So this gives me a reason. Thank you, Shaunessy, for choosing the first book of my May TBR. For book number 2 of my May TBR, let's see who we get. Georgia. Okay, we got Georgia. Georgia is my queer queen. Georgia and I are both queer, so we definitely like bond over that. I love her content so much. She's the most joyous person in the world. She lives in Australia, so it's so much fun to see her life there compared to me living in Ohio here in the US. It's way different, but her content brings me so much joy. She also has the cutest dog I love so much, but Georgia is just such a light. She is my queer queen and I love her for that. I love following along with her vlogs. She doesn't only do book content, but I just generally love her vlogs so much. She is just stunning and I love her so much. I love that we have being queer in common and that we can relate to that. So with that being said, I chose 2 queer books to send to her. The 2 books I ended up sending to Georgia were Iris Kelly Doesn't Date, which is the 3rd book in the Bright Falls series. If you have never read this, it's a queer series. I've read the first 2 books, so this is the last one I have to read. This one focuses on Iris Kelly. Basically all of her friends and family are coupled up and in their happy relationships. She has no interest in that. She like is a free spirit, wants to be single, but ends up having a one night stand with this girl. And basically they meet up again and they both try out for this play and are in this. And Stevie actually asks Iris to play her fake girlfriend to kind of save face for her family and friends. And Iris decides to go along with it because she is wanting to write this romance book and has no ideas. So she thinks this will bring her content for her book. But obviously the lines kind of start to blur and their relationship starts to bloom from that. And then the second one was Mistakes Were Made by Meryl Wilsner. This book is a little bit different of a trope. It's basically about a college student. She goes to a bar on her college campus to kind of escape family weekend because all of her friends have family in town for this family weekend they're having at college, and she has a one night stand with an older woman who happens to be her roommate's mom. So she comes back face to face with her at like a brunch the next day, and they realize like, oh wow, we might have effed up here because you're friends with my daughter and her daughter is this girl's roommate. It's kind of a whole mess. I haven't seen what Georgia's picked, so let's go into her message and see which one we're gonna read. Georgia ended up picking Iris Kelly Doesn't Date, which I'm very excited about because I want to finish the Bright Fall series, so this is the perfect chance to do that. So I'm very excited about this one. We'll obviously get to this one some other time, but my second book for May is gonna be Iris Kelly Doesn't Date, so thank you, Georgia, for picking this one. Our third book girly that's gonna choose for our May TBR is Larissa, my queen Larissa. Basically all of you probably know Larissa, also known as Larry Reads. I actually randomly met Larissa last summer at a summer book event here in Ohio. She came and traveled for it. I didn't know she was going to be there, but she was there and I actually went up and asked her for a picture. She was the sweetest person ever, and then we started following each other on Instagram. She's such a beautiful human. I genuinely think she's one of the kindest people on earth, and she's also one of the funniest people. Like in real life, she's just as funny as she is on the internet. She is just so kind. When I met her, she gave me compliments. She was in my video for a quick snippet. Like she's just such a genuinely kind person, and I eat up her content. Like every time she posts, I'm immediately clicking on her videos. I just watched her latest Coachella video and I am just like so happy with all the things that life is bringing her. She's such a beautiful queen and I love her so much. So the two books I sent to Larissa were, the first one was Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This is the second book after It Happened One Summer, which I loved. It Happened One Summer. I loved it so much more than I thought I was going to love it when I read it last year. I literally thought it was just gonna be like a cute little romancy book that I would rate like a 3 or 4 and kind of move on, but I'm pretty sure I gave it like a 4.5 or 4.75. I loved it so much. This is about a fisherman, Fox Thornton, and Hannah. Hannah's new in town for work, and Fox basically has a spare bedroom. He's like this big flirt. She's not really looking for anything but a friendship, and then obviously things happen from there. But that's this one. And then I also sent her, which this is kind of like such a throwback, but I sent her Love and Luck, which is another book after Love and Gelato. Love and Gelato was one of the first books I ever read getting into reading, which was, I don't know, about 2 years ago now probably, and I thought it was the cutest YA book. I loved it so much, and I've really been wanting to read Love and Luck and then Love and Olives, which is the other one. I've heard they're not as good, so I've been a little nervous, but I think this is just such a fun little read going into summertime and springtime. I think it'd be fun. So these are the two books I sent her, so let's see what she chose. For Hook, Line, and Sinker, I sent an anchor, a heart, and a fishing rod with a fish on it, and then for Love and Luck I ended up sending the little 4-leaf clover, a broken heart, and a book. She ended up choosing Love and Luck, which I'm super excited about. Again, like it's a YA book. It's a super quick and fast read, but this is about Addie. She ends up going to Ireland for a wedding. She's kind of recently come out of a heartbreak, and she ends up going into this library in Ireland and finds this mysterious guidebook, and she thinks it's gonna change all of her problems. So she ends up following this guidebook. Her brother and her brother's friend end up going through and like traveling all throughout where this guidebook is leading them, and she's hoping it helps her in the end. So I'm excited to read this. I loved Love and Gelato so much, so I'm hoping I enjoyed this book. This is our third book on the May TBR, so thank you, Larissa, for choosing this one. Going into number 4, it is Maya. Maya I discovered kind of recently. I was with my friend Lucy in Wisconsin, and we were watching reading vlogs and everything, and we came across Maya, and Maya is one of the funniest people literally ever. I think her videos and her personality are so funny, and she just makes me smile every time I watch her content. My friend Lucy and I literally always talk all the time about how much we love Maya, and I'm just obsessed with her content. So I followed her on that trip, and then she ended up following me back. So we've talked a little bit, but Maya is like a recent discovery for me. We've kind of chit-chatted about like basketball. She really liked Caitlin Clark at the time, and I actually went to the same college as Caitlin Clark. So she's so freaking funny. It has the cutest style, so you guys have to check her out if you haven't already. But the 2 books I gave to Maya were One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. This is a recent book I picked up. This is about a group of friends that end up going on a holiday to the Greek islands, and they're just looking for obviously a getaway and a weekend with friends. And it says, on the first night we swam under a blanket of stars. On the second night the games began on our clifftop terrace. On the third night the idol cracked, secrets and lies whispering on the breeze. By the final night there was a body on the rocks below. So obviously someone ends up dead, but this was the first book I sent her. I kind of sent books that correlated with one another so we wouldn't get a lot of the same books. I was kind of throwing in different genres, so I ended up giving Maya the scary ones, and she like pointed that out in her response. She's like, why am I scared by both of these? I realized I ended up sending you the scary ones. I'm sorry, but this is Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. I've never read this author before. This is about a mom, and she has an 18-year-old son. She's waiting up for him one night after curfew. He's supposed to come home, and as she sees him coming home, there's also another man with him, and he approaches this man with a weapon, and he ends up killing this stranger, like right in front of the mom's eyes, and she cannot believe it, like her perfect son has done this. And then she goes to sleep, and she wakes up, and it's yesterday, so it's the day before, and she keeps going to sleep and waking up, and it's the day before, so it keeps going back in time, and she kind of has to put the pieces together of why this all happened. So I thought this sounded really interesting. For One of the Girls, I ended up sending the Greek flag because it's in the Greek islands. I sent a knife, and then I sent 2 girls as if they're like friends because they're on a friends trip. And then for Wrong Place, Wrong Time, I sent a gun, like a squirt gun emoji, a mom and a son, and then a calendar because it like keeps going back in time. And she ended up picking this one, which I'm so excited about. I was kind of hoping she would pick this one because I've been itching to read this. It sounds so interesting, and just like going back in time and having the mom trying to figure out everything sounds really fun and like a trope I've never read before, so I'm excited to read this. But thank you, Maya, for choosing this book, and I'm sorry I gave you the scary ones. Moving on to book number 5, Alexa, my little queen Alexa. I'm sure a lot of you obviously know Alexa Ray. She's the cutest little, most precious angel on this earth. She's like so soft-spoken, and I love her videos. She's very aesthetic. She knows how to do all the aesthetics. I just really love her videos. I love turning them on. She honestly calms me, which is maybe weird, but she has like the most calming presence. She's just always this happy little angel, so I love her so much. We need to meet in person because I love you. To my little Alexa angel, I sent, what did I send Alexa? Oh, I know what I sent. I sent Alexa these 2 books because I know her husband plays hockey, so I had to throw in a little hockey trope for her. I don't know which one she chose yet, but in my mind, what I think she's gonna choose is the hockey one because I know she relates with hockey a lot. I sent her my little sports romance books because I feel like we both like those. I sent her The Goal, which is the 4th book in the Off-Campus series. This is one of my favorite sports series that I've ever read. I've only read the first 3 books, but I love this so much, and I love Elle Kennedy's writing. This book's about Sabrina James. She's wanting to go to law school. She's like about to graduate and go off to law school, but she ends up having this one night stand with Tucker, who is this star hockey player at the college, and she ends up getting pregnant. So there is a pregnancy trope in this. I honestly haven't read a lot of those tropes, but I don't mind them, the ones that I've read, so we'll see. But Tucker obviously wants to make this work because this is like the mother of his future child, so that's this one. And then I also sent her this one I recently got in the mail from an author named Jewel E. And it's called One. I also found out that this author is from Iowa, and I'm originally from Iowa, so we bonded about that. She was asking me like where I was originally from, and it was just really cute. But this book is called One. This is about Lake Jones. Lake Jones ends up meeting Minnesota NFL's starting quarterback. I realized this once they met that they had actually met 3 years before that, but this is kind of like their second chance at love together. So we'll see which one Alexa chose. For the One book, I put a cat because the girl has a cat on this book, and a football, and then like a couple that is in love. And then for the Goal, I put obviously a hockey puck with a stick, pregnancy, and then a graduation cap because they're gonna graduate college. Alexa said I want to go pink, but I have to go yellow because of hockey, and I assumed that she would choose this one, so I am excited. I again love this series, so I'm excited to continue on with it. But thank you, Alexa, for choosing this. I'm excited to read it. Okay, I have 3 books left. Let's see who we get for this one. Okay, we got Allie. Allie and I met through Instagram, I don't know, maybe like a year and a half ago or something, but she has the most creative video ideas. I love watching her ideas. I think she's just generally such a creative person. She's obviously stunning. She has the most stunning, beautiful hair and aesthetic. I definitely like go look at her videos for inspo because I feel like she has very well thought out videos and just executes them so perfectly. And she's also so sweet. I feel like if I ever go to Texas one day, I'll have to meet up with her because I think she'd be so much fun to hang out with. The 2 books I sent Allie were Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This one has been on my TBR for a little bit. I still haven't gotten around to it. This is about Clementine, also known as Emmy. She has a horse accident and kind of moves back home and runs into Luke Brooks, which is her brother's best friend. He like can't stay away from her, and there's a romance that starts to bloom. So this is the first one I sent Allie, and then the second one is Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Obviously this is her newest release. We all love Elsie Silver so much, and I am included in that. So I'm very excited about this new release. I honestly don't know too much about it. This book is about Ford Grant, and he's the world's hottest billionaire. He only cares about like escaping the press and opening a recording studio in this small town called Rose Hill. This girl comes to him basically and claims that he's her biological father. So now he has like a 12-year-old child, which is absolutely insane. He comes across Rosie, who is in like desperate need of a job, and Ford ends up hiring her, but says he's going to keep her at an arm's length, obviously, because she's like this beautiful girl. But we all know what probably goes down in this. So I'm excited to see what Allie chose. For Done and Dusted, I put a little cowboy emoji with a horse and an orange because her name is Clementine. For Wild Love, I put a microphone because he wants to be a producer, so singing, producing, that kind of thing. I put the hearts, and then I put a key because there's a key on the front of this cover, so I thought I would add that. She kind of figured out that obviously the yellow one was probably a cowboy romance, which she was right. She ended up picking Wild Love, which I'm very excited about because I have been wanting to read Elsie Silver's newest release. And yeah, I'm just very excited she chose this one. She also said she's coincidentally filming a similar video, so look out for that. This is our 6th book on our May TBR, so thank you Allie for choosing this one. We have 2 girlies left. This one is Sara. I'm sure every single person that's watching this video, or almost every single person, knows of Sara, but Sara creates the most incredible book videos. She's so sweet. I feel like every time I have questions, I like go to Sara and ask her something, and she's just so sweet. And obviously she has incredible videos. She comes up with the most amazing concepts creatively and is so good at putting them together and bringing them to life. So I really admire her for that. She's just obviously so stunning and has all the best book recommendations. So the 2 books I ended up sending Sara were Hot House Flower. I'm honestly not sure what number this is in the series, but I know it's the 2nd book in the Calloway Sisters part of it. If you haven't read this series, you need to. It's the Addicted series. I honestly had a really hard time getting into the first book, but I eventually moved on and became obsessed with the series. So if you have read the first book and didn't like it, I'd totally recommend moving on because I was the same way and I ended up really liking the series. So this one is about Rike and Daisy. If you know the world, you obviously know who they are, but I sent this one to Sara, and then I had to send Daisy Hates because I've had Daisy Hates on my TBR for so long, and we all know that Sara loves Magnolia Park. So I figured maybe by context clues she would have picked this one. So the emojis I used for Daisy Hates were London, money, and a heart, and then the ones I used for Hot House Flower were running because Rike is a track star. So I put running, I put a daisy because her name is Daisy. I don't know if that's technically a daisy, but I put a flower. I put a heart with a arrow through it, and then a dress because Daisy's also a model. I honestly am a little surprised by her choice because I thought she would pick Daisy Hates. I thought she'd pick this one based on the emojis, but she ended up picking Hot House Flower. So I'm excited because I love this series so much, and I'm excited to just keep going because as much as I don't want to finish this series, I really want to continue with the series. So I'll get to Daisy Hates and the rest of Magnolia Parks eventually, but it's just not right now. So thank you, Sara, for choosing Hot House Flower. Our very last person, I don't know why I had to do that because there's one person left, is Ashlyn. Ashlyn and I actually became friends on Instagram kind of recently. I have watched her videos for a little bit now, but we recently followed each other on Instagram. Ashlyn is like the person that will always put a smile on your face. Watching her videos, she literally radiates this positive energy off of her. I actually cannot stop smiling every time I watch her videos because she's so precious. She has a husband that also does book content, I'm pretty sure. Ashlyn's videos are so cute, and I'm pretty sure I found her when she did like a Harry Potter series, and I've just loved her ever since. Again, she's so sweet, and I like really want to be friends with her in real life because she's so cute. I sent Ashlyn 2 fantasy books. So the first one I sent was Throne of Glass, which we all know. I've only read Assassin's Blade, and I read that one first, so I'm obviously going to move on to Throne of Glass next. So I sent her Throne of Glass, and then I also sent her Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I've seen a lot of people read recently, and the cover is so cute. But these are the 2 books I ended up sending Ashlyn. For Emily Wilde, I put a little fairy, a magic wand, and then like a teacher kind of thing because she's a professor. For Throne of Glass, I put a castle, a sword, and a crown. And Ashlyn ended up going with Throne of Glass, which I'm so excited about. She said, okay, the right dark purple one is drawing to me castles, crowns, and swords. What could be better? And she's so right. So I'm excited to continue on with Throne of Glass. This series is so beloved, so I'm excited because I really enjoyed the first one. I need to get more into this world, but thank you, Ashlyn, for picking my last book of my May TBR. My TBR card is is looking so empty and sad right now, but that's because we have a great collection of books right here for May, and I'm so excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was definitely like different for me, but it was so much fun to like think of this idea and put it all together. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. And thank you to all of my book girlies for participating in this video. Again, I will have all of their channels or Instagrams, whatever they do, linked down below, so you guys can check all of them out. But thank you guys again for picking my May TBR. I'm so excited. We have such a good May TBR thanks to the book girlies. So thank you guys for picking out all of my books to read in May. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.